Well, welcome to this week's That Car Show. We're back with a cruise show. It was good to see you guys with Steve last week.
Yeah.
But before we get started, I thought I'd give you a cultural reference. I know this week we're not being categorized as a cultural car show, but I was watching the movie Hook. Have you guys seen the movie Hook?
So it's
Robin
been so
Williams?
long. I saw your note in the prep, like in the show notes, and I have a guess, but I was so excited when I saw your
So
little.
I couldn't believe it. So Hook was I think it's early 90s
Yeah.
movie
Yeah.
with Steven Spielberg and Robin Williams, and it's the story of what happens after Peter Pan. So Peter Pan does grow up. He has a family.
Right.
Anyway, halfway through the movie, he basically moves to London to accept an award with his family, and he's got 2 kids. And to keep his kids safe at night, he hands his son a pocket watch. And I couldn't believe it when I looked at the branding on the pocket watch because it was a
Sheffield?
Sheffield watch.
Get out. Get
Unreal.
out.
So
I
I
love
wonder
that stuff.
I wonder if Jay knows this.
We'll have to tell him.
It's
We'll have to
never
check.
come up as far as I know. I mean, that's pretty damn cool. And why
Yeah.
are we
Well,
leaning on that
especially
for
because
some
the
ads?
movie was long enough ago. Like I watched it.
true.
I mean, I saw it in the theaters, not to, age
Yeah.
myself. I saw it in the theaters, but at that point, that's not something I was aware of. But I love looking back on that stuff, and
That's
you're
cool.
like, okay, again, the threads were there the whole time.
Yep.
Crazy.
The little
So
hints.
yeah, watch
Well,
the
and
film.
we all know pocket
Hands up.
watches are coming back.
I was
Sorry.
gonna say, I'm like, wait, which brand just did this pocket watch? Is this
That's
like a semi weird deep cut? And it's like, is it
Yeah.
who just did the pocket watch?
Or
Was it
Swatch
EP?
did, didn't they?
Swatch. Yeah.
Swatch did a
And-
collaboration with Audemars
With, like-
Piguet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm like, I know it wasn't a neon pocket watch.
yeah. So anyway, watch the movie or just check out
Yeah,
that
that's
scene.
cool.
But it's pretty cool, and a shout out to Jay and everyone at Sheffield.
That's
who,
amazing. Hook had great taste.
Yeah, well, it was Robin Williams. It was Peter Pan had good taste.
Yeah.
If you remember the film, Hook hated clocks, so he had all the clocks smashed
Right.
up.
Because the crocodile ate his hand, right? Or he
Yeah.
Right.
ate his hand and then he fed him a claw, or
It
yeah,
turned-
but he could hear him coming.
They turned the crocodile into a clock in the movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about cars, shall we? It's
Yes.
a bit
That's
more
a
of an
crazy
important
idea.
subject. Lindsay, it sounds like you are overdosing on press cars right now.
I am. Well, I think
what's
you
been
put
in
it
the
very
fight?
you put it very aptly last week and said that I'm our very own Clarkson, which, as I told you, that's a comparison I will always gladly accept. Yes, I found myself with 2 press cars in hand and a third potential on Friday alone. And
Oh.
so I just kept hearing you in my head and hearing like Clarkson. And I was like, if there's ever a metric of you've arrived, you've made it, this is it when you've got press cars coming out your ears. Like,
Yeah.
hallelujah. So I spent last week, and I gave it back on Friday, with a 2026 Toyota Land Cruiser, and then swapped that out on Friday for a Lucid Air Touring. And then just so that I could give everyone my full attention, the car that was also potentially coming on Friday will be coming next week. So stay tuned to see
Okay.
what I'm picking up next week.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I mean, I've just been having the best time. And Ryan, I think you drove a Land Cruiser. Have you experienced one yet?
Yeah. I've driven
Okay.
a couple of them, and I've also driven the Lexus sibling, which
Oh,
is
you have? Okay.
an
So that
interesting
is
twist.
on my list.
Yeah.
Now that I've experienced the Land Cruiser, I'm like, all right, I want to drive the GX so that I can compare.
Yep.
I mean, I don't have a bad word to say about the Land Cruiser. It was a universal favorite with everyone in my house. We had the chance to get together with family and took them for a drive in it. So I took 3 adults and 2 kids at one point comfortably. The one that I had didn't have the third seat in it, but that's obviously an option. So you can seat up to 7 depending on how you option it. Yeah, I mean, it was just infinitely usable. Like it was like every time I got in it and started to drive away, I'm like, it's just so usable. And I don't know what you thought, Ryan, like if that was your sort of takeaway.
Well, I liked it a lot more than the new 4Runner for the things I do with the car, right?
Yeah.
And I guess if you're a hardcore off-roader, yeah, you go and you get that 4Runner Trail Hunter or whatever it is. But
Right.
just
Hunt
for
all
day
the
to
trail.
day, the Land Cruiser far superior. And yeah, wait till you drive the Lexus because that's got the 6-cylinder, and that really just kind of makes it perfect, right?
I
But
feel like that probably tips it over the edge.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I just kept marveling too because it's a tall vehicle, but that's very
mhm,
similar to my truck, and so um I felt very at home. It was like, oh, I really do like feel most at home in a taller, big SUV, something like
sure,
that. So I sort of like I felt more comfortable right away, I think just because I'm used to the truck. It was incredibly easy to park, which a lot of
mhm,
people might find surprising given the size, but just like the steering is so precise, and especially with all the cameras and the tech, I felt like I never had a blind spot. It was complete visibility, complete confidence, super precise steering, an incredibly comfortable ride for an
yeah,
SUV with
yeah,
big tires on it that's set up to go off road. One thing my daughter and I kept talking about was how comfortable it was going over speed bumps. Like, and
oh
it
yeah,
was, there was no vagueness.
yeah,
So it really is a testament to the engineering because you felt the speed bump, but there was no vagueness, but it was 100% comfortable. It was like very elevated feedback because you knew there was constant feedback from the road, but it never took away from the driving experience. But I still felt like I was completely aware of what was going on, but very comfortable.
yeah.
What are these competing against? Like, what's your alternatives?
Defender,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Defender, the Expedition, I would think, because you can
mhm,
get a third row. Like anything with a third row. The Sequoia is a different version that also comes with a third row, but that's another Toyota product. I would guess not the Nissan Armada because that's probably more in line with the Sequoia.
yeah,
But I
yeah,
think like the Telluride, that's another third row.
yeah. But you know
It's
what?
not as tall,
Well,
you
the new
know.
Telluride is a little different. I spent some time in one, and we can get to this later with the RMAP
Right.
driving day. And I far prefer the Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
And I think I would just feel much, much more comfortable off road in that versus
Yeah.
versus the Kia. To me, the leaders in that class are the Defender in that, and I don't care if it's not a real Land Cruiser. It's just a really great all around vehicle,
Right.
I should say.
Well, that was
Um,
I hadn't realized that they discontinued the Land Cruiser in 2021.
mm,
And then obviously it's known as the Land Cruiser Prado outside the
yeah,
US, and so they
yeah.
brought that here. Um,
You can still get that old one as the Lexus, of course.
Mm.
yeah,
But
I
no
think that's
longer as the
why I didn't
Toyota. Yeah,
realize that Toyota had discontinued it. So that was interesting to learn, when I had this one when I was doing
yeah.
my research. But yeah, like you said, Ryan, you definitely hear the engine because it's a 4-cylinder turbo hybrid. You definitely hear the engine working, but it's super responsive. We never lacked for power. So I kept thinking like, yeah, you hear it. So it just depends on what you want your driving
Yeah,
experience
yeah,
to
yeah.
be.
And the hybrid goes a long way in filling in that gap between, hitting the accelerator and then feeling the power, right? It really smooths things out.
Yeah.
It's I don't know what the price point is exactly on that. I think it probably comes in a little cheaper than a comparable Defender. But of course you get, a wider range of drivetrain options in the Defender, right?
Yeah. I think it
Lengths as
depends. The
well.
one that I had was priced at 70, but again, that one didn't have the third row.
Yeah,
Did have a sunroof, which was lovely. All the creature comforts. It had heated seats. Didn't have a heated steering wheel, but that's not standard.
yeah, yeah.
That's more of a surprise when you do have a car with that.
Right, right.
Um, I I think, and I don't know what color the one was that you drove, Ryan. I had the tan with the white top, and what was so funny, it's like a burnt sand color,
Right,
and it's not a color I would typically pick
right,
like
right.
to start off, but it definitely grew on all of us as the week went on. And like at one point, my daughter and I had gone to a park, and I glanced over, and the car was like a little distance away, and I went like, "Wow, it's really good looking." And
It
so
is
it's
very
kind of like,
Defender-like.
yeah, and like when you see it, I was like, okay, so when you see it in its natural environment, like outside, this wasn't like far off the beaten track, but
Yeah.
it sort of gelled. And what was fascinating was how much attention the car attracted.
Mm,
And part of that was the color. Like
yeah.
we'd be sitting in it a few times, we sat in it and ate lunch, when we were out and about. And people would be walking by and we'd hear them go, wow, I really like that
Isn't
car. I
that
really like that
yeah,
color.
yeah,
Look at this.
yeah.
What is this?
Yeah. Kind of a
So,
throwback to the FJ Cruiser too, right? With that two-tone. And I think they offered a combination that was very similar to that. That's a car
yeah,
all these years later. What is it, 25 years or whatever? Hard to believe. Thing still looks fresh, still looks like a concept car. Check
right.
my numbers. It probably hasn't been 25 years,
Well, it's been out
those
for a
still look good. And
while.
I think this will be that car a couple decades down the road. I think it's really
Yeah,
timeless.
this is like, well, and it's kind of like, if you look at it that way, like this is the natural progression from the FJ. It's like the
Mhm.
Expedition was the natural progression from the Bronco. The Bronco was
Mhm.
a two-door, five-seater SUV. The FJ is a two-door, five-seater. The Expedition, they added two doors. Same thing with the Prado and the Land Cruiser gives you two more doors, so it's even that much more usable. But
It's
yeah, I mean, it's like, and there was no driver fatigue. Like I took
no,
it on a
no,
few long drives and
it,
just, it was just delightful.
and it's truly capable off-road, but you give up
Yeah.
very little around town, which is really kind of the sweet spot for most of us, I think. So
Yeah. And they dropped it off. It was nearly full with gas. I drove it for the week. Like I didn't, I'm like, if I need to fill it up, I need to fill it up.
yeah,
I didn't stop my usual, activities and got to the end of the week and still had a little bit of gas left. So it's like, while you were seeing it drop, it wasn't precipitous. Like it was very usable. But yeah, it was definitely tough to hand the keys back to that one. And
yeah,
I could absolutely have that as a daily.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I could absolutely see you in that. So,
right. Yeah, it was funny. I was like, it definitely, like we all felt very at home in it, which
yeah,
is,
yeah.
that doesn't always happen.
How do you decide between that and the Defender then?
It's engineered for perfection. Every contour sculpted for uninterrupted motion. Wider, smoother, more refined, and drives like a dream. Introducing the 2026 E470. Experience the difference.
I think you'd have to drive them back to back. It's just a matter of like the Land Cruiser's more utilitarian. The Defender's going to have more creature comforts.
I think the Defender, I felt, had a little more capability off-road, right? Just a little bit more of an envelope, performance envelope. And I know Defenders have come a long way reliability-wise, but I haven't heard anything about a Land Cruiser. And, from as far as I can tell, they seem to be bulletproof to
Right.
reliability,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I think that would be a big part of
Yeah.
any equation is
Yeah.
reliability.
And they both seem to hold their value quite well. So I don't know who has the edge there. But
Yeah.
Does the dealer experience come into it at all? Now, obviously, I had a very shit dealer experience with the Land Rover down the road in LA,
right.
but I also had a pretty poor experience with Toyota in Seattle when I had my
Yeah,
GR
yeah.
Corolla.
Oh, that's right.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
They charge for a courtesy car, for example. So does that come into
Right.
it at all in terms of the dealer experience, or does that not really even equate?
To me, at this point in my life, that is not going to sway my ultimate decision. It's definitely something I might think about, but I think, like, let's say there's a brand that's not known for great dealer experience, but I love the car and I think it'd be a great fit
We'll
for
call
my
them
life.
Polestar, shall we?
Right? Yeah. No, I mean, I think
Oh,
you just
poor
kind of
Polestar.
like, going in, depending on
Mm.
who it is or where you have to go, that you're like, it's not going to be fantastic, but I love the car and like day to day, it's going to be great.
Yeah, yeah. Dan, when I think of Land Rover dealer, I still, envision the Land Rover dealer of the 90s and the early
Right.
aughts with the, I don't know why they got rid of this, but the test track out back
I know.
and
I
the
was just
ramps in
thinking
the
about that.
front. And it's like, come on, that's, I want that back. That's
It's
what I want
iconic.
back. Anymore, I just, I don't even know. I mean, are they standalone? Guys, I drove past a Jaguar dealership the other day. Talk
What?
about bleak.
Were
That's
you
a
in
story for
England?
another time. But they had like two cars. It was really kind of sad. Really
We're
kind of
pulling
sad.
for you,
So,
Jaguar.
yeah. So Land Rovers, got a lot of pressure on them right now. And
Well,
I don't know
with
what the
this
dealer
new
experience
Stellantis
is, but
collab.
that's right. Hey, I had a Wrangler for a day last week and forgotten how much I loved it. Also a car that you would own, Dan. So,
Yeah. Did you get the death wobble?
No, I tried.
I think they've
Despite
engineered
his
that.
best
They
efforts.
dialed that out.
Yeah. But which one did you have?
This was just a base, car, but black on black with a hard top. I got a lot of looks in this car, though.
Ooh.
Again, kind of unexpected. Don't get nary a look in a GT4, but this thing, guys, girls. I mean, this is a good looking thing. I think it was in the triple black, kind of look, and it just
Stealthy.
I don't know. Yeah, it was bigger than I expected a Wrangler, and of course this was the 4-door. I think they've grown a bit, but yeah. But then again, at the end of the day, what am I buying? Probably buying that Toyota. Hate to say. So
Yeah.
Well, you have to consider, you do have a family, and like that obviously plays a huge part in what's going to work day to day.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was doing some research the other week around Turo businesses.
Oh, okay.
And AI, and you kind of give AI some questions, our research department, and the perfect Turo car is a Wrangler. If you're in a place of like tourism, so Seattle would work, I guess Denver would work, obviously LA would work, but the ROI on the Wranglers is up there in terms of great Turo cars.
Makes so much sense. I think it'd be hard to get into trouble in one, right? You don't have to worry, they're tough, right? You don't have to worry about carving a wheel. You don't have to worry about, speed bumps, potholes so much. I think makes a lot of sense, right? A few dings and scratches, don't really
That's character.
Harsh the vibe, right? So yeah. I'm a fan. You know what you're getting with the Wrangler, right?
Right.
You know exactly what you're getting, and each successive, edition's a little nicer than the one before it, right? It's a great single car solution for a lot of people, I think. But
yeah, especially because of the sort of modularity, like the fact that you can take off the roof or the doors or the whatever and turn it into like a beach mobile, but you can go off-roading and
you can get a manual.
Get a manual, and you can put everything back on, and it's an enclosed car.
Yeah.
You liked your rear Wrangler in the time you had it, Dan?
I loved it. It was, it wasn't a quick car. I went from quick Audis to that, and it was utilitarian. It gave experiences that I slept in that car many times, like the racetrack. Not because I was.
Have you had a car you haven't slept in? Maybe that GR.
Yeah, it's the Boxster.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't quite work that one out. But yeah, they're just, but it leads on to the like. Now you've got an alternative, which is the Bronco.
Yeah.
Right. And I think 2 weeks ago we talked about the Filson Bronco. I think Lindsay, you brought that up, and they've materialized.
I know, and we were talking about it, I think at the end of or beginning of last week, and they're beautiful. Like they just look stunning. You put it very well, and it's like, I think it's a Defender contender. Rhyme unintended, but I'll take it.
We're a damn oracle around here. I feel like we're predicting things left and right, and I like that very much. It's a handsome thing. For me, I can't get past sort of the chopped visibility, right? The chopped look out of a Bronco. The Wrangler doesn't have that. The Wrangler's all glass, and it's really quite nice. I'm sure you get used to anything, and I do think the Bronco looks a little cooler, right? But to me, that's a consideration with city traffic. And
so you'd go Jeep over Bronco?
Or Defender over Bronco, over Filson Bronco, I think is what he's saying.
Yeah.
If I could get a soft top V8 2-door Defender, that'd be the one for me. But alas, we can't. So I don't know. I'd have to drive the Bronco again. It's been a while. So
yeah, the Bronco has better road manners, I think, than the Jeep.
It does. Okay.
So that's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
Because it's taken the best of what the Wrangler was, and then they brought it out, right? It's but this new Filson edition looks interesting because it's going to have the engine from the Braptor, but reduced. So it's almost gunning for the Land Rover. So
reduced as in like more genteel. Is that sort of the
I think so. So less horsepower, like less highly revved, right? But you're getting a better engine than the 2.7.
Okay, maybe that's the one then. Maybe that checks off the most boxes.
Maybe that's your next car, Dan.
Maybe. Although I've been looking at Rivians today.
I know. How about that, Art? They just dropped the price. Did you see this?
Yeah.
All right, now we're talking, right?
Like, who does that? Who does that?
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
I could
So
see you
which,
in one. That's
which model are you looking at?
so they've just released the R2. Is that
yeah,
one?
that's
I
the
always
one
get
you
mixed
want.
up with the numbers. Why can't they make it very easy? But like it's the premium edition is just under 60K.
Yeah.
You're getting
Yep.
good electric coverage. You're getting a brand that is focused on outdoor and fun, and so yeah, I need to test
What
drive one. I think
what's the range on that?
430. I think for the
Holy
top one,
crap! I mean, that's
That's
a
fantastic.
and over
higher range
600
of most gas
horsepower.
powered cars. Yeah.
Right, but they will be a cheaper one. The one that's been reduced
Okay.
will have less mileage, but yeah,
Anything over 300 though, sign me up. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Turns
Yeah.
out these are the
incredible.
droids we're looking for. Jeez.
well, so
Guys, sorry, speaking of droids, I watched this. I don't know what moved me to click on this last night, but it's the original Westworld movie from 1973, and I
With
never
Yul Brynner?
saw. Yes, exactly. So you've seen it, right?
and isn't Steve McQueen in it?
Oh God,
Wilder and wilder out
We're gonna
here.
have to ask our research department, aren't we?
yeah, I thought it was. All right, we'll yeah, I was drinking, but that's probably what moved me to watch it. But one of the things I thought was fascinating was, again, this is 1973. It's older than me, right? 5 minutes into the movie, so the premise is you can take a vacation to one of these three worlds, right? One of them is this Westworld, this Western world, and basically you can live in this time period. But I had to laugh because, or laugh or cringe or just thought it was interesting that they asked the question, well, how do you tell the humans from the robots? The
Yeah.
real from the fake? And the response was, well, you look at their hands. They haven't quite figured out the hands yet. This is
Which
1973.
is just like AI.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
It's, he
Anyway,
wasn't in it.
I digress.
He was in the Magnificent Seven, I think, with Yul Brynner, and they didn't get on. But
Oh, okay. All right. I'm
Yeah.
glad it wasn't Steve McQueen because I would have
Dun, dun,
lost
dun.
at least half my my car guy card if that had been him and I didn't recognize him. But
yeah,
fun watch and yeah, really prescient, I guess.
yeah. So
Well,
Ryan, you
and-
went on an intensive
Yeah.
day of testing. Is that right?
Yeah, intensive is right. So they got, I don't know, 25, 30 of us car journalists here.
Who's they? Like
This is Rocky Mountain Automotive Press, which is much like the was it the Whopper?
Nwapa.
What's the that
The
you've got in
Whopper with
in the
cheese.
PNW?
Yes. Northwest Automotive Press Association.
Yep, this is the RMAP, and I've yet to think of a fast food analogy. But yeah, so they get a big group of us together, and then most of the manufacturers, the OEMs, are there, and they bring a bunch of cars. So, like I said, probably a couple dozen of us, at least that many cars. Didn't have time to drive everything, but basically, you take one out and you spend a half an hour, 45 minutes with it, and come back and hop in something else. And it was fun because McLaren has been there in the past. McLaren wasn't there this year. Nothing too exotic, but it's the workaday stuff, right? It's the people, it's the stuff that we actually buy. So Kia, Stellantis, several Jeeps. There was Honda and Toyota and Lexus and Genesis and all this. And as I mentioned on the last episode with Steve, I was absolutely blown away by one car, and that's the Acura Integra. They had an A spec, which is the lower horsepower, sort of middle of the road, 200 horsepower. One of the best manual transmissions I've ever driven. I think it's probably effectively the same transmission that's in the Type R. And they do offer, I think it's the Type S and the Acura, which is, I think, basically the same car as the Civic Type R. The car was just sublime. I may buy one. They're that good, $44,000. I haven't driven a car like that in years. It's what we think of Honda as being, but better, right? They've advanced, and just a wonderful, wonderful thing. Not the quickest thing in the world at 200 horsepower, but just the lightest, sweetest, clutch and shifter, and it's just inherently, good. That was my favorite, my absolute favorite. But the other car that really that people really loved was the new Prelude, and I think that was probably my number two. I don't know if either one of you have driven the new Prelude.
Not yet.
It's gotten some grief because it's expensive. It's not super powerful, but what a wonderful little thing that is. Again, about 200 horsepower. I don't know. It felt like a PDK transmission. I don't know what the transmission actually is, and I meant to look that up before we got on. It looks like an Alpine A110 from many angles, right? And they're relatively new. This was in this beautiful blue color, almost a Mexico blue, and from the Porsche world, got all the looks. People just spun their heads around to see this thing because I haven't seen a ton of them on the road, and especially in this color, it looked really, really good. I don't know who this car is for necessarily. It's kind of like, who was the Honda Del Sol for, or the CRX, right? I mean, it fits in that sort of category. Maybe a young single professional or something who wants something that's fun but also practical. What a delightful thing to drive. For me, the Integra was just that much sweeter with the manual, but that was the favorite for a lot of people. I was really impressed with the new Subaru EV called the Trail Seeker. Yeah, the Trail Seeker, the 2026 Subaru Trail Seeker. I think it's about 380 horsepower, full EV. It's kind of like if you had an Outback that was an EV.
Yeah.
The ride was incredible. Rode so much better than either the Outback or the Forester that they had on hand. Obviously you don't have to worry about a CVT transmission. Ride was great. The size was right. But the one thing that cursed the damn car, and this is something that was in at least a third of the cars there, was the Squircle steering wheel. And it's the squared off circle. Yep. And then the Subaru's, the Trail Seekers case, it was this tiny little thing, almost yoke-like, and you just felt kind of goofy using it. But the car was wonderful. Yeah, it looks homely, whatever. It's a lot of hard plastics and that kind of thing. But it was one of the best driving cars of the day. I was really, really impressed. And I think that's also around $44,000. But you can spend $6,000 more, Dan. You can get the Lexus ES500, which is a full EV, and it's like a Rolls Royce. It's fantastic. So those are my takeaways. Yeah.
I wonder if you're the wrong demographic for that Subaru because, a lot of the Outbacks and the Crosstreks traditionally were like the college cars, right? The cars the kids had.
Sure.
So maybe they want that sort of steering wheel in their cars, and
it's
they want to feel like they've got a Tesla Plaid.
Yeah.
So Ryan, did they have? So at Mudfest we had one of the Trail Seekers, and then we had one of the Uncharteds, which is the other new EV. Did you guys have one of those?
No, didn't have the Uncharted. Is that the smaller one?
Yeah, it's slightly smaller. It's more of it's not a hatchback, but it's kind of like an X6 silhouette, like swooping, sloping roof, not wagon-esque.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I thought the Trail Seeker was really fun and capable. But yeah, the steering wheel, by the second day I was used to it.
Yeah, it just felt a little goofy.
And it wasn't the only one. There were several, and I think especially when you're going back and forth, you notice it even more because you're going from the thing to the thing you don't know, and then back and forth. Yeah.
And this was all on pavement. We didn't do any off-roading, so maybe I'd have a different, opinion if I took this thing off-road. But it just looked a little out of place. It looked a little small, like a 7/8 scale, wheel in a bigger car.
Oh, funny.
Doesn't look nearly as silly though as the Charger 4-door that also has a steering wheel like that, but has about 200% of the visual weight of the Subaru. And just a bunch of the cars had it. I don't get it. Some were better than others. But the one in the Subaru just looked funny. It just didn't look like it fit. But I thought the car drove well. It rode well.
Yeah.
Had good power. 380 horsepower. So it was, as quick as anything. All the power you'd want. It was really fun driving stuff back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
Poor Stellantis. Stellantis, if I may, everyone loved the Pacifica. So.
Oh, you guys had a Pacifica. We did not.
Death Highway, I guess, knows what he's talking about. And interestingly, this one had been used in I forget the name of the rally. So the woman who's the current president of RMAP, Sarah Lacey, had done, is it the Trinity Rally?
The Trinity Rally.
Yes.
You had the one that she drove?
This was the exact same one. I didn't actually get to drive it because I was trying to drive all the fun stuff.
Busy doing everything else.
Well, everyone said, this is great. It's got like 290 horsepower. It drives wonderfully. Like they would take it over many of the other cars. That was a surprise of the day for sure.
Not the first time we've heard that, though. Please go
Yeah,
listen
so
to our
go.
episode of Angela's Death Highway.
That's right. And it even, so it's interesting because it even looks kind of cool now. Unless you
Yeah.
get the base model, like the rental fleet, and that still looks like the old one. The others have all been facelifted, but
That's so
it was,
funny.
that was universally more loved than the new Cherokee, which I think most of us were kind of disappointed with.
Wow.
It's got a
Well, the
1.5 liter
Pacifica-
4-cylinder turbo. It didn't do anything for me. So
Well, and I mean, you make a good point because I think people are predisposed to like the Cherokee and to have the Pacifica come in and just blow everybody out of the water and be like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm here and I'm fantastic.
absolutely, yeah. I think about the same price too. I could be wrong, but the new Cherokee, it just was under-engined. It felt heavy. It just wasn't the car for me. It's probably the right car for a lot of folks. It's just not the right car for me. Trying to think if there are any other
So
surprises.
interesting.
Uh,
I think the
big-
Trinity Rally was happening
Yeah.
while I was at Mudfest because I was talking to the Stellantis guys who were there, and they were really excited. And they've worked with Sarah over the years, I think.
Oh,
and
sure.
they were excited to have the car on the rally.
Well, Sarah's awesome. She's great, and apparently the Pacifica was too. But you just don't get to drive everything, and that was something I didn't get to drive. But
So how
I
many
wanted-
cars were there?
couple dozen at least. Again, it ran the gamut, drove the new Kia Telluride, which again, I think it's probably a very good car for a lot of people. It's a very different vehicle from the Cherokee, and I think a better vehicle, bigger vehicle.
Yeah, because that can be a 7-seater.
Yes. Yeah. That thing was massive, pleasant, it just didn't get me too
Didn't get your
excited
engine
about
going?
it. Yeah. Nothing was terrible, right? That's the thing. Nothing's terrible anymore. Some are just really, really good. And once you drive one of those, it's, pretty easy
Yeah.
to forget the others. So.
I was impressed because they had a Telluride at Mudfest and it did fantastic off road. And you just never know
Interesting. Yeah.
because a lot of those, that 90 or 99% of them are going to be used for ferrying children around on
Yeah.
city streets, and so you never know when you're going to take it off road. Another thing, like with the Trail Seeker, it did fantastic off road, which is what you'd expect from Subaru, but you don't necessarily know how the EV is going to do. And that and the Uncharted both did amazingly off road.
And that Telluride was actually pretty great in the twisties. I took it out on a twisty road with our buddy Jason Meshnick,
yeah.
who you both know.
Yeah.
We got the tires to make some noise and the brakes to make some smell, and it was very predictable. I mean, it's not a car I'd ever choose for the twisties, but it really it was better than it had any right to be. You think you drive one wonderful car. So like with the Integra from Acura, I mean, best car of the day, in my opinion, but the other car they had there was the Acura ADX, which is their small crossover SUV. And I hated it. CVT
Just
transmission.
across the board, or
It was just a very different vehicle. It felt sloppy. It was everything that the Integra wasn't. It was perfectly fine, but it wasn't, wasn't all that much better than the Cherokee, right? In my eyes, just really disappointed in that. And the other thing that I was disappointed in is a lot of these cars had high-end audio brand sound systems. So the Jeep Grand Cherokee, which is an interesting one, a really beautiful interior, has a Macintosh stereo. But unfortunately, it didn't sound like any Macintosh stereo that I'd ever heard.
this is the new Macintosh. It sounds the same.
That's right. It's same thing for the MDX the ADX, the Acura had a Bang & Olufsen system. Suffered from the same issues that Bang & Olufsen systems do and other brands like Genesis, right? Where instead of simple bass and treble controls, you've got this Bayo sound circle that you can never get the sound quite right. Meanwhile, the Integra had I'm gonna have to check the brand again. It wasn't ADS, but it was another brand, and it was exceptional, right? So same manufacturer, same OEM, and yet the one car is exceptional, and the other I would have put way down on my list. So
Right.
it's interesting these
different
days.
I wonder if it's anything to do with sharing platforms, because I don't know whether the ADX is shared across the Honda range, or obviously the Integra is shared with the Civic, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm wondering if the ADX is the same as, is it the HRV, the really small Honda
Yeah.
crossover? Because it didn't, I think it was betrayed by its underpinnings, honestly. It just was not.
There's the episode title, Betrayed by Our Underpinnings.
Every day. Every day.
Every day.
You've got to feel sorry for Acura, haven't you? Because, like, what are they as a car company? Because they produce 2 SUVs,
Yeah.
and then they
Right.
produce this fantastic, 4-door sedan, and they're not really competing with Lexus, are they? Because
No, they've really gone 2 different directions, right? And I would take that Integra over the Lexus any day. But as for an appliance, an electric, just conveyance, that Lexus was hard to beat. But as a one car does it all, engaging car, that Integra was just fantastic. I implore everyone listening to go out and drive a new Acura. And I haven't driven the Type S, and that may be even, that much better. But I thought that this A-Spec was really the sweet spot. 200 horsepower is not a lot in 2026. 0 to 60, I think in this thing's like 7.3 seconds at sea level, but it feels faster. And when you get in a car like that, screw the performance numbers. It's just so engaging. It's just so sweet to drive. And like I said on the last show, you forget that they still make cars like this. It was just exceptionally, exceptionally good. And I hope they keep making it, because it's the best thing I've driven in a long, long time. So,
yeah.
So is it a viable replacement for the Polestar?
I don't think so, only because it's front wheel drive only. And
Oh, yeah.
being here in Colorado, all wheel drive is really, really nice. But
Guess who's moving to California so he can get a new favorite car?
I think it would be the perfect car for someone with a commute, right, who still wants to take it up in the canyons. Again, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but I bet it would keep up with a lot more powerful stuff in the canyons, just because the driving dynamics are so exceptional.
Yeah, no, they're good. I had the S for about, I guess, a week, and did about 600 miles in one.
Really?
Oh, wow.
And it was the official Long Beach pace car. So it was
Oh,
gold.
that's right.
And
one of the gold ones?
yeah, but
I
it's
forgot about that, Dan.
such an engaging drive. You want the Civic for the seats, but you want the full experience. You want the Integra.
Yep.
It's good cars.
I love that you were just cruising around in the gold one. That's
Right, with the
such
flashing
an amazing
lights.
visual.
Yeah, that's
fun.
way cooler than what I drove.
Yeah, I mean, we were stuck in traffic a few times. It was just like, let's put the lights on.
That's
right.
They had all these strobe lights on the roof. The only thing is, it only done like over 1,000 miles, but it had done 1,000 track miles, so the brakes were so squeaky.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, they're track brakes, everyone. They're supposed to sound that way.
Yeah.
I was told by Jake at Acura that if I want to take this car for a week, I should do it before Pikes Peak, because once the hill climb comes to town, then all the Acuras in the local fleet are given out as courtesy vehicles. And I bet those brakes will be squeaking too by the end of that week.
What are you waiting for? Get on it.
I know. Wonderful
call.
car. Wonderful
When
car.
is Pikes Peak?
I don't know exactly, but I did
Coming
make
up,
it up
though, right?
for what they call tire testing day.
Yeah, how was it?
Was great. I think tire testing, I don't know I think it's a practice day. I think it's like, carburation day, right? It's kind of a term that's, maybe just a term anymore. But it's a practice day. It's the first day for these guys to go out, and you can practice either the lower section or the upper section, but not both. And the reason they do that is then they can have people practicing on both sections. And we got up. It was our buddy Brendan Garst's 40th birthday. And so I was very honored that he invited me and a handful of other people, including Jake from Shift, Colorado, and also our buddies John and Louis Deisty, to get up way
Love
too
the
early.
Deisties.
And I got all of 10 minutes of sleep before I had to get up at 1 and drive up to Arvada, Colorado to meet Dan. Is this
Deja vu.
familiar?
Dan, it sounds like he got 2 more hours of sleep than when you were with him.
Yeah. Did you
Or no,
forget the
two
camera
less.
there?
You guys
roll
got
up
more,
to-
I think.
Yeah, I roll up to Brendan's house, and of course it's dark. I'd never been on the street. I knew right away which house was Brendan's, because he's got a 4-car garage, but parked outside were a Hyundai Santa Cruz, that little pickup truck, his Kia EV9 electric, and then his papaya orange McLaren. Those are the cars that are outside, because inside he's got some sort of Viper, a DeLorean, and then 2 Quattros. So it's like,
Just in case you need to go back in time.
I found it. But
He's
we had
doing
such
well
a,
at 40, isn't he?
I know, well, CPA, he knows how to work the numbers, right?
Yeah.
But we had so much fun. We drove down, we drove like a bat out of hell down to Colorado Springs, got on the mountain by 3:30, met up with the Deisties. There's a terrible video of me and Jake from the
State
magazine sleeping in the car.
I thought he was going to say
Sonwood.
State Farm.
Every time he says Jake, I just hear from State Farm in my head.
Yeah.
So apologies to Jake from not State Farm, but what are you gonna
This
do?
is Jake from Shift, Colorado. But we had so much
So
fun.
close.
And I don't know another motorsports event that you can get access like that, where we were just up on the mountain. We were crew, right? But we were right there in the middle of it. That electric vehicle thing that Ford reskins every year and runs was there, and it just it fires up like a turbine engine, and it just goes puff of smoke, and then it's halfway up the mountain. It was incredible, and we even had breakfast with a couple of the drivers after. It's super casual. It's a pretty special event, Pikes Peak. There's really nothing else like it, and it's that's on the world class stage like that. It's a
Right.
pretty cool experience, and it was a fun morning. Although
Worth
I was
not
tired for the
sleeping
next
for
3
sure.
days. Yeah. So
Any sign of Zwart?
I did not see him. No, he may have been on the lower half. We were on the upper half, but
Well,
yeah,
you saw him
it's,
on your other adventure, though, didn't you? Just organically?
Yeah, I don't know if I talked about that. We went to Aspen a couple weeks back. A couple buddies, shout out Eric Boehner, and one of his buddies. Eric's got a Spider RS. His buddy was in a supercharged Corvette C8, and we had a lot of fun driving to Aspen and back. All the wonderful passes, the roads that are in that area, McClure Pass, Independence Pass, this kind of thing. A couple of the highlights were, yes, seeing Jeff Zwart and what appeared to be a singer from a distance, and then also being seated across from John Oates from Hall & Oates at a steakhouse we went to for dinner.
That's fantastic. It's
looks
like
just like
being at
Prince.
Rensport, but you didn't have to go.
That's right. We had such a good time. It's one thing to drive the roads near home, right? It's another to get out and drive the best roads your state has to offer. And unfortunately, at least here in Colorado, it takes an overnight trip. But it was awesome. Only broke my windshield and burned through some rubber, but it was a wonderful time. And
Worth it.
Yeah.
Nice. What else? What else? Do we go to the news?
What else is on that list?
I'm just trying to. It's got dark, and I'm going to the Porsche and Toy Story. Did you guys see this?
I didn't. Can you fill me in?
So they've done a collaboration to celebrate Toy Story 5.
Okay.
And I think the underlying message, which I'll talk about in a minute, but they've done 3 limited edition cars that are tributes to characters in Toy Story.
Oh, okay.
So the one that's probably the most interesting is the Buzz Lightyear. So they've taken a GT3 RS. They have basically put a color scheme the same as Buzz's space outfit. Worked with Goodyear to get special permission to change the tires to Lightyear.
That's awesome.
But it does make you wonder why. There's also a Woody edition, which is
Did they put wood paneling on it? Please tell me.
it's
they did.
not no, but it does have like a denim
Different
type
Woody.
glaze. And then when you open it up, it's got like
What
the
is this,
cow.
a ham? What's a glaze? Tell me what the denim glaze.
It's like a denim color. It looks like a denim
Okay.
paint job.
Okay.
And then when you open it up, it's like it's got the cow pattern carpets, and because he wears that as
Oh,
a
wow.
waistcoat,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
Oh, right.
Right.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you don't have to base the car. It's okay.
But I think the actual underlying thing is something else. And I think it is that you can expect to see Porsche doubling down, if not trebling down, on Sonderwunsch. So Sonderwunsch is the special wishes department.
Right.
I think where commercially Porsche are right now, I think they need to make more money. And one of the ways that they make more money is by doing more with that unit.
Right.
So, I think there was also in the press like a week ago, I think it was Moldova or somewhere in the Eastern Europeans, there was like a limited edition Sonderwunsch car. I think you can expect big Sonderwunsch stuff at Car Week. And hopefully I'm not talking out of turn. But I think it's going to be, a way to increase. We talked about it with Ferrari, and then their expertise at getting the most out of a customer in
Right.
one car.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
think
it's a
that's
way to
where.
highlight, to showcase the capabilities. I mean, and they did, if you look back, they did the Sally Carrera from Cars. I think that was 2022, possibly. And they ended up auctioning it off for charity. And I think it went for 3.1 million.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
they did that, and then they've had her at Rensport and various, events around. I mean, and that's another way to show off the Sonderwunsch capabilities. So yeah, I think you're right, Dan.
it's funny though, because there was a time we didn't even know that existed, that program.
Right.
And it really was exclusive, right? And then it's
So exclusive, you didn't know it existed.
and that's
I could
right,
tell you, but then they'd have to kill you.
most exclusive.
You can't afford it, right?
Yeah, and now, I mean, there's going to have to be something even more exclusive now, right? Again, right? It's like, like when the Platinum card, right? American Express, that was a big deal until everyone had one, and then they went to the Black card or whatever, right? And I feel like they're going to have to go to the Sonderwunsch or something, because there's going to be a certain element of enthusiasts who are going to demand more exclusivity. And so it'll be interesting to see, where that goes. And speaking of special wishes, I don't know how you say it in Italian, but you saw yet another prediction that we've been making for years that seems to be coming true. And that's that Ferrari is teasing finally a manual Ferrari, right? The 12 cylindry, right? And so, and I think that's where, the future is going to go, because they can charge whatever they want for that. Right.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where Porsche goes. They start offering manual Turbo S's, right? Or GT2s or GT3 RS, right? So it goes beyond the cosmetic and really gets back into the mechanical side of things. And because what more can you make exclusive? Where can you apply these special wishes? But mechanically, I guess moving forward.
I think it's people's imaginations as well, right? It's so there are enough people with blank checkbooks that I think there was a car event like a Luft in the Far where was it? It was in Dubai or Saudi Arabia or something, and there was a brand new manual Cayenne.
Oh wow!
I think, and that was a Sonderwunsch.
Okay.
So I think you come with the ideas, and Porsche have potentially increased their staff to be able to accommodate those ideas.
Yeah.
And basically, because the money talks, there's more profit to be had.
Well,
They
Dan,
are ready and waiting to make your dreams come true.
Yeah.
Standing by.
you remember? So Dan, you're the resident Brit. Was it Rolls-Royce or Bentley who would often refuse the wishes of their clients? So they wouldn't do, for example, a pink, Rolls-Royce, but one would do it and the other wouldn't, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if Bentley were the easy ones or Rolls-Royce, but I think that's all gone now. Whatever you want, if you've got enough money, right? They'll do it. And I can't imagine what it costs to engineer a one-off manual Cayenne.
No, but
It's.
But you talk about Bentley, and I just give everyone a heads up. If you haven't seen the latest Chris Harris video, he takes Bentley out with the CEO of Bentley. And it's a really interesting video because the guy who's the CEO, I can't remember his name, but he basically worked on the Porsche GT products all his career. And he was there in the background, and he gets this opportunity to become CEO of Bentley. And he's going to do some really cool stuff with the brand.
It's Frank Walliser.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe.
Or Frank, as Lindsay calls him.
Right. Frankie,
right.
My buddy Frankie.
Yeah, but it's a really good
Guarantee
video.
them.
Yeah.
I'm doing the really good stuff at Bentley.
Well, I know at the last Rensport, I know Lara had a chance to do it was like a behind the scenes meet and greet with some of the people from Sonderwunsch, I think. And, you talk about like one of the car companies declining to make someone's dream come true. And I think what they said was, we do have consultants, and if somebody comes in with a dream that we don't think will sort of complement, like we don't think it will look the way they expect it to look once it's in real life, on a real car, they're like, we do our best to sort of guide them. But if somebody's really committed to their vision, we'll make it happen.
Wow. So there's like a fashion police.
They're like,
In
we
essence.
try up to a point, and then if you're really, really, determined to have this specific dream, then we grab your hand and we go for it.
You know who won't do that is Corvette. And I think we mentioned in an earlier show how Corvette should, start to do some sort of Sonderwunsch program, right? Because as the prices of Corvettes, especially, cars like the Z06 and the ZR1, I mean, we're competing in a different, a different strata, right, of car buyers now. As far as I know, Corvette, GM has never done anything like that. And I think that would be a way where, hell, I mean, who can't use a little extra cash, right, in their corporate coffers, right? I mean, if I could go get a Muir-Blau C8 Z06, like now we're talking, right? That would, that might be enough to draw a Porsche person over to a Corvette who otherwise wouldn't be interested. And so, yeah, I think now with technology and AI, and I mean, that's the catch-all, right? With the AI, these car companies can do this kind of thing.
AI, as
right?
kids are saying, yes.
So, I mean, hell, let's do it. Let's do it. I want a Volkswagen R, right? And Brewster Green, how cool would that be? Right. So
You'd be the only guy with one.
Heard it here first.
I think that's a wrap, Ryan. You just get it wrapped.
Should we? Is that a mic drop or
What have we got coming up? I think, Lindsay, have you got you're not going to tease the next car, right? You're going to wait and
you got to wait and see. But I do have something else coming up.
Wait. We heard about Car One.
Yep.
Right. We didn't really hear much about the Lucid. Did you?
No, but I mean, I think it's probably best to wait until my time is done.
Okay. But there is a third car.
There is a third car.
Okay. It's going to be hard to top the Lucid, I imagine.
Right?
But...
I know. Well, and I will say this until we talk about it in depth. I am really enjoying it. It's the first EV that I've spent, any appreciable amount of time with. So that's been really interesting. The learning curve has been less than I anticipated. And it's made it really interesting going directly from the Land Cruiser to the Air. But, it keeps it exciting.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for more in-depth discussion once I'm done with the Lucid, and then stay tuned to see what I have after the Lucid.
Yeah, I can't wait. I just took delivery or rented a Mazda CX-50 today.
Nice.
I'm going to put some miles on it. The first thing I did when I got home is I cracked the windows and checked Amazon for an ozone bomb because someone, I think, had probably Ubered it for a while, and it had that Seinfeld-esque funk. And so hopefully...
How nice.
We're going to spend 2,000 miles in this thing. I want this thing to not kill us, but pretty nice little vehicle. This is just the base car, the non-turbo 4, I'm almost positive, but a nice package. I know Car and Driver awarded it something, at least the turbo version this year is one of the better cars in the class. So I'm excited to put some miles on it. But real quick, in the rental car line, because we get our best stories from the car.
Did you not ask if you got anything fun?
I did ask, and so that's how I ended up with the Mazda instead of a Chevy Traverse, Dan.
There we go.
So smelly or not, I'd still rather take the Mazda. But while I was waiting for them to clean the Mazda for me because it had just been returned, and I figured it'd be a better option than the Traverse. A couple came in dressed in matching pink velour Las Vegas branded tracksuits, who were...
This sounds amazing already.
Honeymooning?
Well, it was an interesting couple, and I'll leave it at that. I don't know if the
Subscribe
woman...
to Patreon to hear Ryan's unfiltered description of this couple.
It was two women. I'm not sure if the younger woman was a spouse or a daughter, but they had just, I think, brought this thing back from Las Vegas, and they had chipped the window, and they were being very kind and decent about reporting this thing. But the outfits, I wanted so badly to take a picture. But as I was trying to maneuver my camera, a guy walked in the door, and he was obviously from a foreign land. He was, I don't know if Italian or Polish or something. And he comes in and he said, I'm sorry, I just rented this car. I took it out 10 minutes ago, but I had paid extra for the navigation and I can't figure out how to use it. This poor sucker had used some sort of third-party booking site to add on navigation. Do you remember like they used to have these, what were these boxes? Right.
Yeah, that you'd throw on the dash and they had like a weighted octopus on the bottom that was supposed to like keep it in place.
Yeah.
Like bags of sand.
And the guy behind the counter said, sir, we haven't had these standalone GPS units in probably 8 or 9 years, right? But apparently Booking.com is still charging an add-on fee of $25 a day for a navigation unit. And I can see this guy, he doesn't want to run data in a foreign country trying to get around Colorado, right? And I felt so bad for the guy,
He's like, so what you're telling me is there is no standalone Garmin unit that I can borrow?
So I don't know if that's still a thing in Europe or whatever, but I haven't even thought about that in years, much less try to order one for my rental car. So
I'm just sorry.
Yeah, it got real dark.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah. So, I'm telling you, I think a perfect reality show would just be like at the budget rental counter, right? To watch these people come in. There was someone else who was jumping through every hoop to use a debit card versus a credit card to rent a car. And you just kind of felt sorry for them.
Like, at some point, it's not worth it. Just pull out your credit card.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you don't have one, but that's what Greyhound's for, right? That's what Greyhound's for. So anyway.
Confessions of a rental car desk clerk.
Yeah.
I hear Costco is very good for car rental.
I've never tried that. Where did the cars come from? They still come from Enterprise or
it's the usual. I've not used it, but apparently you get your second driver free, and if you've got Costco membership, it's cheaper. I've not got membership, but there's your consumer advice for the week.
Yes. And Dan, by the way, when I did say, did you have anything fun? This wasn't the airport in LA, right? So,
or Monterey during COVID. Yeah.
Right. So Mazda CX-50, it was, but it'll be a good car, I'm sure. So
that's wild.
You can't go wrong with that over a Chevrolet Blazer, right?
Absolutely. So your advice
I think
appreciated.
Just for the sake of content, we probably need to be one of us renting a car once a month and just hang out at the rental counter for a while, collect some stories.
I think Lindsay can do 52 weeks of press cars.
I know, you're on a roll.
Hey, with any luck, right?
Yeah.
It's a worthy goal.
Yes. This Lucid that you have, because this isn't the same one that Spike's got, obviously, because you have them at the same time.
Concurrently.
Concurrently is the word.
Magic of podcasting. We are driving the same car in the same week on different ends of the West Coast.
I was going to give you props for getting it first, but
actually, he had a different one.
He had a different one.
Was it a Sapphire?
He's now got the Sapphire.
Okay.
I'm assuming you don't have the Sapphire, do you?
No, I have the Air Touring. What did he have? Did he have the Gravity? Or did he have an
the Air Touring, I think, and then he got the Sapphire.
Okay. So what we're hearing is the progression is I will be getting the Sapphire next.
Yes.
Well, and I got to drive
live in Spike's shadow, but yeah.
And then
he's living in our shadow. Come on.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. I got to drive the Gravity at Mudfest, which is their SUV kind of crossover-ish silhouette. And then obviously I'm getting to spend the week with the Air Touring, which is their sedan.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Well, good on us. Good on you. I mean, right? Life is good.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a U-Haul coming up. Leave that.
You know what? It's potato, really.
Wait till you get to that rental counter, Dan.
There we go. It's
I dare you to say, do you have anything fun at the U-Haul counter?
It's I think apparently you don't even go to the counter. You have to do it over the phone with a person and show them your driver's license, and it's slightly different from the last time I rented one, but yeah.
One more U-Haul thing. In the news yesterday, U-Haul was very proud because they just introduced their biggest, I guess, most luxurious model yet. It's built on a Peterbilt. So Peterbilt is usually a vehicle that most people without a CDL can't drive, right? These are these semi-trucks, these over-the-road trucks. But they now have one that's built on a Peterbilt. I think it's gas-powered, not diesel-powered, but it is the biggest, heaviest vehicle that you can rent without a CDL. And the funny part is the cutoff for needing a CDL is 26,000 pounds, I believe. Guess how much this new U-Haul weighs?
25.59.
25,999.
Dang.
Quick.
Just don't put anything in the back.
Yeah, no fuel in it.
Right. Anyway.
It's like when you
Moving
see people look at like the towing capacity or the load bearing, whatever, and they're like, so we can go up to that, right? And you're like,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, we wish you all the luck in the world. because...
Thank you. I'll be thinking of you in your Lucid and your Mazda, maybe in a Ford truck.
Right.
Telling yourself it's the same difference and we're all just out here living the dream.
Or Peterbilt if you're lucky.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Well, I think we're a show, aren't we?
Yeah,
I think so.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining us this week on That Car Show. We really appreciate you all being here and sharing the show with your enthusiast friends. Please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a 5-star rating. We always appreciate that. And remember to always be driving, and we'll see you here next week.
Thanks.
Cheers.